Hi students. So if you look on your iReady, you're going to see some lessons that I have placed there for you, and you'll notice that I've also erased lessons that you did not finish from last week or the week before, which is fine because the ones that are on iReady now are going to be graded. So let's take a look at what you're going to be working on. Your topic is distinguishing points of view on a topic. So we're focusing on point of view. So I have a video that talks about points of view, and so I just want to review really quickly what is point of view. Point of view is when you are being told a story, and either you're being told the story by the person who it happened to, and they say, I went to the store, I saw people wearing masks, I felt very happy, excited, nervous, scared, worried. So they're telling you about their experience and how they feel, what they think. So point of view lets you know what the person thinks or feels. Great. So now we know what it sounds like if I am talking. But what if someone's telling a story about what they saw? So maybe if your mom went to the store and you're listening to her talk about her adventures at the store, she might say, when you're telling the story, you would say, when she went to the store, my mom saw lots of people. There was a long line. You had to stand 6 feet apart. You have to be careful not to touch or cough on anyone or touch anything. Right, so these are just ways that people tell a story. From that, you can tell how her mom felt and what she thought. So that's what you're going to do when you're listening to the stories. So we're looking at a point of view on a topic. So when we heard the story about voting and Kids Voting USA, we know that the topic was voting, and the way the point of view or the way the author felt about that topic was that voting was important. Right? So let's go straight into, we're not going to go into the lesson. You are going to do the lesson, which is the instruction, and I'm just going to go over some aspects of the quiz with you. I want to review a couple of things that you're looking for text details. These are also called text features that we use in class. So you're going to be using these text details or text features to help you figure out the author's point of view. So you're going to look for things like pictures, expressions on faces, maybe look at the title of the story. You're going to be looking to see if the person is saying, I felt scared, or she was scared. Because then you know that the speaker is either the person who it happened to, or it's a narrator telling someone else's point of view. So if I say, I went to the store, and I felt excited, then I'm telling my point of view. But if I said, she went to the store, she felt excited, then I'm telling the third person's point of view or someone else's point of view, and I'm telling you what they think or what they feel. So you're going to look for that first. And that's how you're going to be able to figure out what they think or feel, by understanding first who's talking. The next, you want to understand how the author's point of view is different from another person in the story, and even maybe different from your own. So if I said, I love playing basketball, if that's my point of view, and the other character who's in my story says, well, she hates playing basketball. We have different points of view. Maybe the reason that I love playing basketball is I get to play with my dad. Maybe the reason she hates playing basketball is because the students don't like to pick her to play the game with them. So people have different reasons for the way they feel or think, and you need to look for that in the story and see how their points of view differ from one another's, and even how it differs from the way that you think or feel, so you can connect to the different characters in the story. I also want you to notice that this lesson should take you at least 38 minutes. This is really important because they have timed it, they've worked through it, and they know how long it takes to do this lesson. So remember, you're going to be figuring out what's the author's point of view, and you need to see how it's different from any of the other characters or even the narrator of the story. So let's look at the quiz really quickly, because I want to go into the story and let you see what you're going to see, so we can sort of talk about some of the text features. So the first thing we notice is the title says a fuzzy question. So right there, I'm doing my SMIP. I'm going to survey the text. I see that I have a fuzzy question. I see the author's name is Cat Hairball, so I know that's kind of a silly name. So I have a feeling this is going to be a silly story. I see that the name, there's a title here, and if I click on it, it's going to tell me the name of that person, Hannah, and my sound is turned off, so you're not going to hear it. You're going to hear me tell you. And then I have this person over here, Diego. So when you go through, you can have the story read to you, but right there, before I even turn to page 2, I see that I have I have a title, and then I have 2 subtitles, or we also call them headings. Okay, so we're going to go to the next page, and I don't see any other headings, so I'm going to go back to the front of my story. So I've done my S. Now I'm going to go straight to my P. Notice I'm going to look at how many, before I go to P, I'm going to look at how many paragraphs I have. I have, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So right before we even get started, we can go ahead and identify that we have 10 paragraphs. We have 2 different headings or subtitles, and we want to go ahead and predict. So I have a feeling, since this is called a fuzzy question, that Hannah is going to have a question that she has to ask Diego, and they're going to have a hard time figuring out what it is, how to figure it out, or what is the answer, okay? So before I even start reading, I already know what I think it's going to be about. That way, when I start reading, now, as you know, it should be easier for me to go through. Please allow the story to read for you if you need that assistance. Then go on to the questions. When you go to the questions, you cannot read the questions first and then the story. So because you have to read the questions second, I want you to really be careful. And I want you to remember that you have the question here. You can have the question read to you, and then you can go back in the story. Please do not neglect to go back to the story if you need to, and then as soon as you found your answer, go back to your question. So the first one asks about the best detail. Which detail best shows how Hannah feels about keeping Simba indoors? So if you can't remember, the first thing you're going to want to do is read all of your choices. I think he'll be my buddy for a long time. Simba, like most cats, is very smart. Cats are natural hunters. To me, a cat is trapped indoors is a sad prisoner. So they're asking about Hannah. So you only have to read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs to know how Hannah feels or thinks about the cat being indoors. Once you find the answer, it doesn't specifically say the answer. It's what they think or feel based on what they did say. So in this, Hannah talks about the cat being outside, and to me, a cat trapped indoors is a sad prisoner. Cats are natural hunters, and they're born to be free. So then you go back over here, and you're going to look for how she feels about the cat staying indoors. It does say that cats are natural hunters. It does say that the cat is smart. It does say all of these things, but which one of these things answers the question? That's what you're going to do as you go through the questions. You're going to try to figure out not just what they said, but how what they said is what they think or what they feel based on what they did or did not say. So here you have to be really careful and mark only the answer that she said about how Hannah feels about keeping her cat Simba inside.